What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here helping you take your game to the next level. And today I wanted to get back on the defensive side of the ball and touch on nickel blitz 2, but not just nickel blitz 2, but how to properly scheme around it. Now, as all of you, or at least most of you, should know by now, especially if you play online, nickel blitz 2 is the best blitz in the game this year, the most consistent, the hardest to block. There's many ways to adjust the coverage. It can be tough to beat if you don't know how to beat it, but good players have found certain ways to block it. They've found certain things like running the ball typically works pretty well against most people who use nickel blitz. There's certain route combinations that work well. Using play action works well, but overall it is a tough defense to go against. But what a lot of people don't do is scheme around it. They just run nickel blitz into the ground. And yeah, you can beat a lot of people doing that because it's such a good blitz, but you're going to need more than that to beat the best players, or to beat I would say, an above average player. And the best players know how to scheme around nickel blitz. Now, nickel normal is such a great formation in general. There's a lot of things you can do out of it. So first, let's go over nickel blitz for whatever reason for the people that might not be too familiar with it. The basic setup that you're going to see people use with nickel blitz is you're going to base a line, you're going to press, you're going to pinch your defensive line, you're going to crash them out. Now, you can just leave it like this in Blitz 5 and it'll be extremely hard to block, but what most people do is they'll drop the defensive tackle on the right back in a yellow, and they can just leave it like that, or they'll put him in a spy and put the defensive end in like a purple zone, or man him up on somebody. They'll do something like that typically. And then they're going to user this guy right here, this linebacker. They're going to user him. They're going to stand right here in this little gap, and they're going to hold the right trigger. And they're going to hold it for a second right after the ball's snapped, and that's going to hold the line, and it's going to allow the blitzer to come off the edge like so. And as you see, he gets in there extremely fast. Very, very, very good blitz. One of the better blitzes in recent Madden history of the past few years. Definitely one of the better blitzes. And there's a lot of different ways, like I said, you can set this up coverage-wise. You're always going to base a line, press, pinch the defensive line, and crash them out. But like I said, if you suspect that they might run to the right, you might want to keep the defensive line blitzing just to give yourself a better chance at getting a block shed over there. Or if you not sure if they're going to run or pass, but you still want to drop an extra guy back, you would just drop like the defensive tackle back in the yellow, but leave that defensive end over here so that you kind of have a defender over there. If they try to run the ball to the right, you have somebody there that could possibly block shit, or someone that takes up another blocker so that maybe you can manually get in the backfield and not let them get as many yards. That's something people do. Like I said, most typically you're going to spy the defensive tackle, and then you're going to take this defensive end here. You're going to purple him. You can yellow him too if you want. You can man him up on the B receiver. You can man him up on the tight end. You can cross man him on X if you think X is going to run across the middle of the field. It's really endless what you can do with this defensive end. You can put him in a light blue zone, which is going to be a hard flat because the cornerback out here is going to drop back into a soft squat, so he's going to drop further back, and you could have the defensive end drop into the hard flat. So there's tons of things you can do. But what I want to back out of this and show you is other good things about this formation and how to scheme around it in order to really confuse your opponent. Because, like I said, if you're playing a good player and you're just running nickel blitz every play, a good player is gonna know how to beat it if that's all you have. So one of the first things I want to show is where is this play? The corner blitz 3. It's a very good play. Good players utilize this, but your average and below average players don't utilize this play enough. And basically what this is going to do, we're going to just base a line and press really quick just to show you. You're going to get the cornerback blitzing off the right. So you're bringing pressure from the opposite side here. And a lot of times when people are expecting nickel blitz, especially less skilled players, they're going to immediately try to roll out to the right when they think you're running nickel blitz. So if you run this and they roll out to the right, they're completely dead. They're just dead immediately. But even if they don't roll out to the right, they're going to set up their offense, or they're block the running back. They might slide the line a certain way. They might motion a tight end over. They're going to do something typically to try to block the cornerback on the left. And then if you're coming from the right, they're completely unprepared for it. Now, how usually would set this up when I run it is I'm going to baseline and press. You're going to pinch the defensive line because we need to make it look the same. Now, instead of crashing the defensive line up, I crash them to the right. And then I will take the defensive end on the left side of the field, and again, we can do whatever with him. We can drop him in a yellow, we can put him in a light blue. Typically, I would either yellow this guy or man him up, like say man him up on the running back if I think the running back's going to run a flat route, or man him up on the tight end if I think the tight end might run a drag or something like that. Typically, I'll yellow him or man him up on the running back. And then we're still going to user this guy here to make it look the same, but it's our responsibility to shoot out here to the right after, because we need to take away any quick read over there because we don't have a zone over there. So we hike the ball, we run out here to the right, and as you can see, we got the guy coming from the outside. It's not as fast of a blitz, but because it's unexpected, if they're expecting that cornerback blitz to come off the left edge, they're going to be caught by surprise. You're going to have a different coverage out there because this is a cover 3 look and not a cover 2. So, you know, they're expecting a blitz from the left, they're expecting a cover 2 defense. So you're blitzing from the right out of a cover 3 defense. If they hesitate for 1 to 2 seconds because it's not what they thought it was, you're going to sack them or you're going to force them to throw the ball away. So you've eliminated a down from them. Something good to do on third down. You know, if you nickel blitz them on first and second down, now third down you switch it up. Even if they have to throw the ball away, now they're in fourth down. They either have to punt it or go for it all. So definitely you want to mix that play in as well. Now, I'm going to show you another very good thing to do with this formation nickel normal. Let's just get the offensive play picked first. Now, another thing you're going to want to use is kind of a stock coverage, because you want to just have 8 guys in coverage from time to time. Just, you know, throwing them off, not blitzing, just kind of throwing them off. And a great play to use when doing that is the cover 3 cloud, because it's not a coverage that a lot of people run. So they're going to be caught off guard by it. You know, if you just run a standard cover 2, standard cover 3, those are a little easier to beat. Cover 3 cloud, it just reacts a little differently because of the zones. Now we're going to baseline and press and pinch the defensive line because we want to make it look the same. Now, having this hard flat over here, it's different because you're running a cover 3, but you kind of have like a cover 2 style on one side of the field. And this deep safety over here is going to play a lot differently than a regular cover 3 would play. He's going to play very aggressive to anything that comes over here because he knows he has that hard flat underneath him, so he doesn't have to worry about anything underneath him. He can just be aggressive on any vertical route that goes over there. I can tell you that running a lot of nickel normal this year, I have gotten more interceptions with this cover 3 cloud play than maybe anything in the game, because I'll hit them with nickel blitz or I'll hit them with the cornerback blitz from the right, and every few plays I just come out and just run just a straight up cover 3 cloud. And like I said, I'll baseline, I'll press, I'll pinch the defensive line. I'll usually crash the defensive line down when I do this, or to the right if the running back's on the left. If the running back would be on the right, I would either crash down or crash to the left, because I'm trying to basically crash the defensive line to where if they were to be running the ball, that we would have a better chance of getting block shed to the side he's running to. So either crash to the opposite side of the running back or crash down. And then you take the defensive end that's on the opposite side of the running back and you can just man him up on somebody. He's a wild card. Man him up on the tight end, the running back, X receiver, whoever. I mean, you can drop him in like a spy if you're dealing with a fast quarterback and you think he might run. That's something that's fine to do too. And just again, user this guy in this hole here. Now you're just coming out and you're just gonna lurk around and, you know, just wait for a block shed. Now, yeah, he might have had maybe 3-4 seconds there to pass, which is fine because you're dropping 8 guys back. You're only rushing 3. You're not looking for immediate pressure. You're just looking to catch them off guard because we've already run a cover 2, a cover 3. Now we're running a cover 3 cloud, which is different. We have all of our best guys in coverage. As long as you have decent defensive linemen on the field, you are going to get block sheds. I mean, if you're an ultimate team and you can build your defensive line how you want, you're going to get great block sheds. So I'm telling you, I've gotten more picks with this play. It's just something people aren't ready for. It's just it's a simple play. There's nothing crazy about it, but when you have the blitzes to back it up, that's what makes it all that more effective, is when you're coming out in just a coverage play that's a little unique, but still has, it's safe, but it's unique at the same time because it's a cover 3 cloud. Most people just run straight up cover 2s, cover 3s, maybe a cover 4. Cover 3 cloud, it's a little bit different, but just different enough to throw people off that aren't used to it. And that's mainly it with the nickel defense. There's really not much more to it. I mean, you can always, of course, throw in a regular just two-man under and drop a guy back, just drop a random guy back. We'll just look at that real quick. This is not something I do very often, but, it's something you could do once or twice a game, maybe. Just another little extra wrinkle. You baseline press, pinch the defensive line, and then you just pick which guy you want to drop back. You can drop a guy in a yellow, a purple, a blue, a spy, whatever you want to do. And use of this guy, and just try to jump anything. You have to kind of stick to the guy you're supposed to stick with a little bit as well, but that's something I wouldn't do as much, but throw it in a couple times a game, because if you're constantly running zone, blitzing, cover 3, they're never going to expect man. So just to throw it at them every once in a while is not the worst thing in the world to do, just to try to play with their head a little bit. But like I said, mainly you just want to have that blitz from the right, and you want to have the cover 3 cloud play, because that's going to really make it tough on your opponent. Don't just send nickel blitz every time. Mix it up, make them have to guess, and that's when you're going to force picks. That's when you're going to have them throwing the ball away. That's when you're going to have them taking more sacks, because they're never going to be sure where the pressure's coming from or if it's coming at all. So don't just rely on nickel blitz. Use the other plays in this formation to your advantage to get more stops on your opponent. Now, if you enjoyed this video, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.